Hey, I'm Dean and this is Legacy Voyage. In Season 1, I'm documenting my journey to earning my first 100K net worth as a full-time college student. Join me as I share some of the lessons I learned along the way.
I may have told this story already, but a while back, a friend and I were just talking, hanging out, and they asked me, "Hey, Dean, how are you so motivated to do all the things that you're doing?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm super motivated every single day. It's more like discipline, I guess." He was like, "Well, how do you become disciplined? What does that even mean that you're disciplined?" And he stumped me for a while. Like, did not know how to answer this question of this idea of discipline. I think I finally may have cracked the code. It might not be a final answer, but it's at least some progress into getting at that. And it was when I was watching this video by Leila Hormozi, and she was going on and on about, I don't know, probably some clickbait title like The 9 Secrets to Get Super Rich or something like that. But she has really good content. Her and Alex, her husband, they got some really good stuff out there. I was listening to her video. She's talking about this idea that she learned from her years of personal development, because her story is that when she went into college, it might have been after college, but at some point in her life, she just got super overweight, super obese. The key thing is that with her story, she's always been a healthy body weight. Like, she hasn't been super obese or overweight when she was growing up. And this, I think it was in college or at some point in her life, she starts to let go of her health. She has to get a little overweight, a little obese, and then a couple years later, she's a personal trainer teaching people how to get skinny, because she goes on this personal health journey and development journey where she's learning about all the things like Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and all these big names in personal development. And not only does she improve her physical health, because eventually she's able to lose the weight and she gets fit and she goes on to win a bunch of like bikini or bodybuilding competitions, something like that. But she also is able to improve her mental health, which might be the more important thing with her journey. Because with improving her mental health, she thought through a lot of things that was holding her back from becoming the type of person that she wanted to become, from improving herself. And one of those things was what she taught in the video, was this idea of discipline. But it's even broader than that. It's called cognitive diffusion. And it's basically a super fancy way of saying ignoring your thoughts. For example, when you walk into, let's say it's a birthday party, it's your birthday party. It's your birthday and there's cake and all your favorite foods are all right in front of you on the table, and you can have as much as you want. There's nothing holding you back. Of course, when you're sitting at the table and you see your favorite desserts, cookies, brownies, all the things, see your favorite foods, I don't know, ribs, chicken, all the things, you see all of them laid out in front of you. You have all these thoughts of saying, I really want to eat that. I'm going to eat all those cookies and all those brownies, all the food on the table. Cognitive diffusion is ignoring those thoughts and saying, it's okay that I can feel this way, that I can have these thoughts come into my mind. I don't have to act on those thoughts. I don't have to let them control me, because I can have those thoughts in my mind. But once you're able to disconnect that from the actions you take, then it enables you to go and do some pretty cool things. There's this quote I heard a while back, and it said, courage is not the absence of fear, but acting in spite of it. And that's a perfect example of this cognitive diffusion. It's not you making the leap of faith without any sign of fear, but it's acting in spite of it. Like, for example, take faith. It's not the absence of uncertainty, but acting in spite of it. Where, of course, you're going to have thoughts of uncertainty run through your mind. It doesn't mean you have to act on it. And it all comes down to discipline. Because after she told her story, Layla, she's telling her story and talking about discipline, and it really got me thinking about how I can have that same type of definition for discipline. And here is the big epiphany. Discipline is not the absence of temptation, but acting in spite of it. Because, of course, on your health journey, you're going to be tempted to eat the whole buffet. You're going to be tempted to eat the entire jar of cookies. But it doesn't mean you have to act on those thoughts. Even on your wealth journey, when you have to go and do certain tasks that you don't necessarily love, it's being able to put those thoughts aside and say, you know what, the game needs playing and I'm going to go play. That's a big epiphany that I wanted to share. For the life update, a lot has happened since my last recording. So I recorded my last thing like a week and a half ago. And so that was before I went off to Salt Lake. But to give context, this past week was Thanksgiving break. So last week, I think on Wednesday or something, went off to Salt Lake. That was awesome. Chill with the fam. And then from there, we headed off to Japan. And even getting to Japan was this whole thing because we went from Salt Lake to LA and we're living with my uncle in LA, just having a place to stay. Then we leave Sunday night from LA. We fly over to Cincinnati. And then we finally get to Cincinnati. We fly over from Cincinnati to Minneapolis. Then we get over there. Then we fly from Minneapolis to Japan finally. And we're doing all of this because we're trying to find business class seats that are open because we have flying benefits, which are kind of this double-edged sword because, yeah, it's nice that you get seats when seats are available. But what happens when seats aren't? And that was a big thing that we were dealing with in the standby life is really playing it by ear and just going with the flow because I think we literally spent the entire 24 hours flying. Left Sunday night. We got to Japan Tuesday afternoon. So we finally get to Japan. And of course, we have an amazing time. And it's awesome to spend time with the fam, of course. And then coming back from Japan was easier. Just flew directly to Frisco and then came out here to Chicago. And I think the biggest thing was that I didn't get any work done last week, like at all. Even last week and the week before, it was super difficult to get work done because I really didn't at all. Now I'm just trying to get back to the schedule, trying to get more work done and be more productive. But it was a good break. It was really awesome. The only thing I think about is like, I wouldn't want to be traveling 24/7 because work kind of gives me this outlet to go and do cool things. That's really the motivator. It gives me a lot of satisfaction to do cool projects. So that's super awesome. In terms of next quarter, trying to figure out plans for that, I haven't heard back from any internships, so probably not getting any of them. Realistically, there's this one that I'm meeting with tomorrow that hopefully I'll get. It's like a Vastly is the name. It's a podcast discovery solution, which honestly might be perfect for me, but we'll see how it goes. It's led by a Northwestern alum. He went to GSB, which is the Stanford School of Business. And that would be an amazing opportunity. Great to work with that dude. And maybe staying on with one of the search ones that I'm interning with right now. And also talking with the other people I'm interning with is like getting feedback from them, how I can improve in the future, and hopefully sharing that advice with everyone. Those are probably the biggest things. I forgot to do the breakdown from health, relationships, and wealth, which is how I'm kind of defining my life. I'll do it in the next episode, or at least I'll try to remember. But with health and traveling, of course, my diet wasn't perfect, working out wasn't perfect, but it's okay because being able to recognize that and say to myself, I'll just get back on it, which I honestly have. And again, I've only been like 2 days out here, but it's good to get back into things, have more of a scheduled, structured week ahead of me. We'll see where life takes me. I record these episodes completely free to share success with everyone. So the only thing I ask is that if you learned anything or found something interesting in this episode, just leave a review and share it with a friend. Only takes 5 seconds and it would mean the world. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next episode. Tatok, see you.